Hey, y'all. I see that I have two in here. Who do we have today? I'm going to wait for some more to come in. Let me make sure I get chat going good. There we go. How are y'all doing? Hey, Katrine, how are you? I keep missing your lives, but I've been watching the recordeds. And I already conditioned my clay because I figured y'all wouldn't want to. I'm so glad, Katrine. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Thank you for coming. I already got the clay conditioned because I figured y'all didn't want to see me roll it out on the pasta machine 50 million times. And it's got some dirt on it, and I'm not worried about that because we're going to be painting stuff. I am doing much better. I still have like a little bit of a head cold, but I'm much better than I was. I already have some pieces made and baked. They're over here waiting in the wings. So that while these are baking that we're going to make, we can play with those. So, and it's not all going to be Christmas ornaments because I wanted to show you all a couple of things you could do with your polymer clay as well as make Christmas ornaments. Katrine, how are you today? Hope you're doing good. So what we're going to do with this, I'm going to use the snowflake, but not on this. This is mixed. It's Primo white mixed with, and my box is buried. Sculpey, no, it's not. Sculpey Original. And I mix them because this Sculpey Original has been open for months and months, but I want y'all to look. This stuff is so soft that there's really no way to just deal with this. I mean, this is not conditioned. It's right out of the package. And so I mix it with Primo about half and half. Oh my gosh, yeah, your hair is long, Katrine, but it's always fixed so pretty. So I don't use this by itself because it's just too soft. So I mix it with my Primo white. You can get this at Walmart for like $6 for a 1 pound block, which is great, except for the fact that it's really, really, really soft. But mixed with the Primo, it helps soften up the Primo a little bit, and it works great for this purpose. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do, I probably want to cut this out afterward, a Santa Claus. And there's two ways you can do the Santa Claus. We're going to do them both ways. We're going to press him first. Press it evenly. Oh, that didn't work. Erase, erase, erase. Great thing about clay, erase. And this is a ball tool. I'll smooth this out better in a second. I may flip this over. Let's flip it over. It's the other good thing. We have a whole other side to play with. Okay. I'm going to put this back on here. And I'm going to press it better. There we go. Yay, that one worked. Okay, now the second way you can do it is with ink, and stays on is great because it won't move. So I'm going to ink my Santa, and I'm going to put this one right below that one, and we're not going to press it. We're just going to set it on there and give it a little gentle pressure, but we don't want to stamp the image in this time like we did here. So just a little. And there we have it. A stamped image, and it'll bake just like that. So what I'm going to do have room to make another one. Well, I'm going to cut these out. And I may have to rework clay through the pasta machine. Oh, that's not very straight. Oh, now, it's okay, we're on camera right there. I was going to say, I got it totally off the camera. So I'm just trying to straighten up my edges a little bit and make him more square. Okay, and if you wanted to make a hole for hanging, now is when you do it. This is an awl. And I'm just going to put it in there and wiggle it around. And now I have a little hole right there that I can hang that with when I'm done with it. And we're going to take this one out. Oh, and I made this Christmas tree that's up here by hand, free-handed. I'm not going to make another one of those. I'm not sure I'm happy with how that one came out. Hi, Crafty Kitty. How are you? Let me trim this one up just a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing. Poke a little hole up here for hanging later. Set him off to the side. Move my little bits. Okay. We have a snowman. I'm going to put him down here in this little spot. This is a snowman cutter that I got last year at Michael's after Christmas. Okay, I got it probably beginning of this year. After Christmas, so I haven't really gotten to play with them until now. Okay. And when you do the pressy, you want to wiggle this around a little bit just to make sure it makes contact with everything. And then, okay. Pop him back out. And my clay is rolled out on the number 2 setting of the pasta machine. That's the second thickest on mine. So what we're going to do with his little eyeballs is, and I brought it out here. Now I can't find it. I have liquid Sculpey. I'm going to put just a tiny, oh, okay. That was not a tiny. Let me scrape that off and put some in that eyeball. I have black seed beads. And I'm going to put one little seed bead in each little eyeball. And I put the liquid Sculpey in there so that when it bakes, it will hold those in place. It will act like our glue. And that's translucent liquid Sculpey. So it'll bake clear, supposedly. Okay, so we got that. We have a little gingerbread dude. And I'm working on a tile. Just a plain white tile we bought at Lowe's on sale for my clay. And I can also bake on here. Which I will do. We're just going to bake these right on this tile. Let me press that down and wiggle it around. Now, my last little gingerbread people didn't come out as clear as the snowmen or the snowflakes, and I don't know why. And this clay is very sticky. There we go. See? His impressions don't come out good. But that's okay. Where's my little pokey tool? He has 2 eyes. He has a mouth. And then these lines are supposed to go. So I'm just going to freehand this stuff on here. There. Now I will pick him up and move him off to the side. Well, I do want to give him some little bead eyeballs. So hang on. I'll just set him right there for just a second. I probably should get a toothpick. Where? They're on this table somewhere, y'all. I think. Oh, right here. We're going to do this different this time. Put me some on my toothpick since it seems to want to just go where it wants to go. And I'm going to put just a dot on each little eyeball. Oops. Rub that off. Get it out of his little mouth area. And Lord have mercy. I just had them beads. That fast. Right here. Plain sight, can't see them. And we're going to put that in his little eyeball. And I'm pressing these down just a little bit because I want them to stay in there. You know what? I want him to have a little belly buttons. Like a real snowman. They have, I need a smaller ball tool for this. I thought I had it out. Okay. One moment. Okay, I don't have the smaller ball tool, but I do have a very small crochet hook. I'm going to put 3 little dimples on his belly. He don't come that way, but we're going to give him those. Get my toothpick back. And I hope y'all can see. It looks like it's kind of far away, but on the camera, it's hard to do a zoom in on this camera. And I'm just going to put, again, little dots of this clear. Now, I always check these when they come out because they could still pop loose. If they do, I will glue them with glue. But most of the time, like when I do this on my dragon eyes, they stay with no problem. Okay, he's good. We will paint him when he is baked. Just going to set him off to the side. And let me check on chat. Oh, I lost some peoples. Are we all still here? Y'all can still see me and everything. I haven't kaputted. YouTube scares me lately. We have our little elf dude. And we're going to do him 2 ways as well. We're going to press him in first. Make sure I have room to cut him out. Oh, I did not give our snowman and our gingerbread man a hole. So we're going to do that real fast. They need to be able to hang from a Christmas tree. I got to pull him closer to me so I can get this hole to wiggle. Okay. Yep, I can put something in there. And I'm going to do his right here in this line. There we go. Is that good? Yep, that's a good one. Take this off. And this is not going to be very straight. It's very rough cut for right this second because I got to get him away from stuff. Or get stuff away from him. How about that? Okay. Now I'll make him better. And it didn't stamp it really good on this, on the right side, but that's okay. As long as the lines are there, we can still do what we need to do after he bakes. That's not very... There we go. And let's give him a little hole. I think we're going to hang him from the corner. Okay. And I'm just going to bunch this back up because we can use it again later. Now we want to do an inked one. And I do have some of these already baked. So once we get these done and I get them in the oven, while they're baking, we're going to be decorating the other ones. And this is... This table is not the sturdiest table in the world for inking purposes. Okay. So I'm going to take him and put him up here. And again, we're just going to apply firm pressure, but not press. We don't want to press an image. Well, and we don't want to deboss, so to speak. Oh, cool, Katrine. And there he is stamped on there. And let me cover this back up. That sounds cool. Man. Now I can trim him better. And if I was making like a polymer clay tile Christmas box, this is exactly what I would do. I would just make them into tiles. I would even make the snowman into tiles and the gingerbread men. And then you just put them on the top of your box. How you want them. So let's see. Square that up better. That's not a pretty sound, is it? Oh, and we need to give him a hole to hang with. Okay. Get my scraps gone. Now the other thing, we're going to do the rose, but I'm not going to press it in. I want to just stamp it, and I'm going to use this down here. Press it. And pull it. I'm not going to worry about that corner. We can cut that off. Let me move my stampy pad out of the way. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to use the flexible blade for this because I'm going to cut, since I want to get rid of that. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. Let me fold that out of the way so I have more room. This is the flexible blade and allows us to do this kind of thing where I can... This I'm going to put on a journal page as an embellishment. Okay, we're going to just set that aside for now, so I'm not going to worry about a hanging hole or anything like that. Now, unfold. And because this has black on it, I don't want to mix it back in. We'll set it back there. Okay. Snowflakes are coming, but I did want to use my little the sunflower cutters. I'm making a sunflower journal in the near future. And so I thought while I was playing and making other things today, I could do these too. A few. Now I did notice when I made the previous ones, and I'm just going to pull. Oh, that didn't cut at all. There ain't no lining that back up either, y'all. So I'm just going to take this little tool. Let's see, can I get that to come out? Almost. Let's do this. Bear with me. I'm not going to fuss with it. We're going to re-roll back through the pasta machine. And I'm just going to flatten this out by hand. Put it over the top of this one. Fold this up. Fold this in. It's probably not how you're supposed to do it, how I do it. Pasta machine is still set on the 2 setting. It comes out, and then I fold it again. Always put fold in first when you're doing your clay so you don't get air pockets. Okay, now we're going to try again. Wiggle that around real good, because that hasn't been making a good image. But that's okay. I have these little ball tools and scoring tools. There we go. And I am just going to gently lift it so I don't stretch it out of whack. And now I'm just... Now, what I did, because that doesn't look much like a sunflower, they have texture in the middle. I just use my awl. I'm not pressing it all the way through to give it where like the little sunflower seeds would go. And if you're not happy with the design, you can give it more. Just lightly draw on it. Give it some more texture. This will show up when we paint it. The extra texture. Oh no, the doggies. I don't know what they're barking at. Okay. So that's that. I need to move it out of the way. It's kind of in the way. And just set it over there. And we can fold our clay back. Make another one. I don't know if I'm going to put these on the cover or on pockets. Why is it so dark? My camera is usually, I must have... it's not usually this dark in here. So I don't know why it's so dark today. It just looks really dark. I've got my lights on. Hang on, let me see if I can adjust. These get hot. Ouch. But it just looks dark. I wonder if there's a way to adjust the brightness on the phone. Enable flash. Oh, that did it. Now it's maybe too bright. Is that too bright, y'all? Hey, crafting lady, how are you? And it's a bit blurry. Okay. So hang on. The blurry is probably the camera lens is dirty. So, got to find my camera lens. Aha. Poking y'all. I'm sorry. So, is that better? This does look blurry down here to me too. Wonder if we zoom. Whoa. That might be better. That's kind of too much. Let's try a little less. There we go. And I may need to turn the flash is going to get my phone awfully hot. We're going to turn that back off. Is that better, y'all? It just seems dark today, and I don't know. I'm in the same spot I'm always in, I think. Oh, maybe not. Just move the table. Because the lights are up above to my, they're that way, just over my shoulder is where the light is. But it's a chandelier light, so, and they're all lit. I don't know. It just seems dark today. We got air bubbles in there. And, uh-oh. I'm going to try to line that back up. I can take it. That I'll take. I can fix anything that looks weird by adding the texture back. Set that off to the side of this right there. That's where it wanted to cut originally. So we're just going to make it look like that was intentional before I tried to double cut it. By putting some of my own little texture spots in here. And these don't show up all that great right now, but when we apply the paint, this will look really cool, I hope. It should. And we want to take and make our little marks for where the seeds would have been. Now, if I didn't want these to be flat, we could take and, like, you could round them, you could curl them up when you bake them. But because my vision is to put them in a journal, they're going to need to be flat. And where it's not separated, I'm just going to take the blade and run it in there and separate all my petals. So, but you could add dimension, you could curl up your petals, you could take and curl them, you know, different ways up and down. And if you bake it that way, trying to make them have a shape. So like if I bake it, and I may bake this one this way, it gives it a little dimension, makes it a little bit more realistic looking. We can let that one go like that. Okay, so there's that one. Now, put our stuff back. I have a bigger one. We're about to get to the stars. Or that's not stars. What am I saying? We only got one snowman. Oh, we need another snowman and another gingerbread man. And I'm going to check chat in just a moment and make sure I press this one really good so we don't have to go through that again. Press mark maker. And if you don't want it to have the marks on the petals, just don't press this down. You could just use it as a straight cutter and make your own marks. My table is very squeaky. Oh, this is... There we go. Yay, that one came out perfect. We're not going to do anything. Well, yeah, we are. Let me pull it up. Okay, I'm going to separate my petals. These cutters I got on Amazon, and they were like $10, and I got a whole bunch of them. Okay, so now I am going to take, and I'm going to put these marks back, because some of them are not as nicely marked as I would like. And it needs to match what I've done on the other ones, kind of. But you could put this on you could make this into jewelry. You could put a magnet on the back. All kind of things that you could do with this. And we're going to put all its little dimples in there. So it looks like a sunflower. At least I hope that's what that does. Now, if you wanted different dimples, you could come back like with the end of your crochet hook if you wanted bigger dimples or different ones and just do that. Kind of like those better. Go back over here and redo. They're a little bigger and more defined. And I think it'll show up better with the paint. But so we're going to do these ones. The end of the paintbrush would work for this. Okay, so let me pull this one up very carefully and set it off over here to this side. They're not going to stay baked like that, but I wanted another snowman. I'll put him down here. And I've thought about, because I was making mold faces for some of my little weekend people. I have a whole video on the weekends, not how to make them, because that was a class. Oh, thank you, Katrine. About the nail polish on my nails. Thank you. I do them myself. Oh, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Y'all are funny. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for coming. So, before I was looking at chat, what was I saying? Oh, the weekends. I thought about making like little mold faces because I have some really pretty ones, and I paint them for my weekends, and I paint them for my message dolls. And they're not that, I could make them, you can make them however thick, you know, that you want. Oh, wait, we were going to do molds. I didn't make any of those in advance, but my molds are over here, so we are going to do that. Anyway, I thought about making some of those to put like on journals, because I also make hair for them and everything. And now I'm going to push this plunger down and wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it. Okay. Pull him out. Where'd our toothpick go? Because we're going to give him his little eyes again. And this is translucent liquid clay, is what I'm putting in the little eyeballs. And we're going to put him some little seed beads in there. Oops, not in there. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Let's see if I can get that one out. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Now we're going to roll that back where I wanted it to go. Roll that one where it needs to go. And just push down a little bit. Now we have two little snowmans. Oh, we got to put him a little hole in his hat. I'm just going to do the toothpick, because it was handy. Okay. And another gingerbread man. And then we're going to make the molds, because I have Christmas molds that I bought that are like cabochons. And so we have a Christmas tree, bells, and a candy cane. And we're going to make those as well. And all I got to do is just ball the clay back up in just a second and put it in there. So we're going to push down on him again. Hopefully this time his lines will come out. I won't have to redraw them, but if I have to, I will. I did not make the cabochons ahead of time because I kind of forgot about that one. But we have some of the all of this other stuff except the rose. But we're not done with the rose yet, I don't think. So wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Well, that worked. All we got to do is push it to release and peel it off. And we have no design of any kind on here. See, this one, I don't know what's wrong with that cutter, but that's okay. We'll do what we did last time. Take the end of my little crochet hook, and I'm going to give him an eye there and an eye there. Take the very smallest end of this. Give him a smile. And I'm trying to work around all this other stuff I've got going on down here. There we go. A smile. And we're going to give him 3 little buttons. And I'm going to go around the edges with this. No, I'm going to use this, the small end. And I have a smaller, an even smaller one of these, but this one will work. Put those little lines back in there that didn't come out. I don't know what it is with that cutter. But if you've made gingerbread cookies and you put the icing on them, we can do this. Okay, he needs a hole in his head. And we need to put him some eyeballs on and some buttons. So again, I'm going to use this translucent liquid clay. And the translucent liquid, until it's baked, stays liquid. it does not dry. Oh, that was a lot. See if I can scoop it out. I don't want that much. Well, there I go again. Gobs of it. Okay. But it stays a liquid consistency until baked. Okay, so now we're going to drop some little beads in there. Roll that one up there where we make that eyeball. And I do check when this is baked to make sure that they are stuck, because if they're not, we will have to put some glue under them. Okay, so there that is. Okay, now to the molds. We just need to ball this up. It's conditioned, so I'm not worried about that at all. But what I am worried about is these molds releasing this sticky clay. So, is this the one I used yesterday? It is. So I have baby oil handy. I'm going to put baby oil on my sponge. Just a little. You don't, oops, and it poured out. Of course it poured out. So I have a napkin. I'm going to dab that off. You just need a little bit down in the mold to help release. And basically, mainly down in the little cracks and crevices of everything. You can use powder. You can use cornstarch. It will not hurt the clay. I just prefer I prefer to use and then I dab out any excess oil. So we're going to take a little bit of clay. About that much is what I think it's going to take. It may take more. Oh, that's good. And you're going to press it in firmly. And I'm going to go in and fill all three first. And this was a Walmart clearance item online. Push that one in real good. And we need a little bit more clay. And then I'm going to check chat. And we're going to work on the ones that we did where we just stamped them before they bake. Well, I'm going to add a little bit more and I'll show you why. Make sure I get it smooth. Well, smooth as far as blending where I join the two pieces. Okay, so now what we do is we take our blade and you carefully cut across the top of these. You don't want to cut your mold. Definitely don't want to cut your mold. And I'm turning it some. Am I in camera? No. So I'm carefully going across the top, making sure I'm not getting into the mold, the pink of the silicone mold. Oops, I dug down into that one. I don't want to do that. And this gives you a nice smooth back to your pieces. This one's still real high right there. There we go. So you can kind of see when you have them right, because you don't have that weird funky edge. Like that one's still not good. So I'm going to turn it around and come at it from a different angle. Okay. And that's still not good down here at this part. Okay. So I press gently on the back, and you see that they are just releasing. They're just coming right out. And let me pull up all my scraps. So there's the candy cane one. Hold it down a little bit. And it pulls all the detail and everything. Here's the bells. I think I like the bells the best. And here's the Christmas tree. And so these, you can either poke a hole in them now, or what we're gonna do, we're gonna bake them, and then we're gonna back them and put a hanger at the top when we back them. And I'll show you how to do that, because I don't want to poke a hole in them. Or, well, I don't want to do that either. They're not really thick enough at that spot. That's what I was looking at. So there's those. Okay, now snowflakes. We don't want to forget our snowflakes. So with the snowflakes, what I did, I have opal clay. And the opal clay has all this glitter already in it. Hi, Ginger Kitty. Thank you for coming. Hi, Deborah. How are you? I'm going back through chat because I see I've missed some people's. Oh, you are so welcome, Ginger. So this I mixed. It is not just straight opal clay. I mixed opal half and half with, what is this? Translucent, I do believe. Where's the name of it at? It's Sculpey Accents. Well, this is the wrapper. It's got to have the name on here somewhere. I think it's just translucent clay. This is. And see, it looks completely different than the white clay. So I mixed the opal, which is basically translucent clay with a lot of glitter already in it, with the opal. Oh, really? She likes beads. I love beads. I have a little stash because I make jewelry as well. Not as much anymore. They do have liquid Sculpey. This is clear liquid. It's a new one. They used to, it was transparent, but it really wasn't transparent. This is really clear. We didn't make snow. Oh, I was like, we didn't make snowflakes. That's what this is for. Gingerbread's your favorites. Elizabeth, a weekend. Hang on. I'll go get a couple. Molded. I have 11 of them. It's a class that I took on how to make them. Now, the class taught me how to sculpt the faces. So this is a hand sculpted face. And they're just little people. Mine have a story. There's a weekend video way down in my list. Their story. I don't do a tutorial because I did take a class to learn how to do this. And it was a paid class. Okay. This one, I love him. This is a molded face. His hair on the back is actually another mold of his beard. stuck on there because I don't, yeah, that's a weekend. He's got a story too, and I made his little hat and his little clothes. And this one is also a molded face on her. And all of this is handmade. It's all clay. There's except for the little gemstone. This is total clay. They are made with original Sculpey. The face was not. It was made with Primo. Because the original Sculpey is really, really soft. But these are my weekends, or 3 of them. There's, I think, 11 total weekends. So that's what weekends are, Elizabeth. Thank you for asking. And I haven't decided yet if I want to sell my weekends or not, because I really love them. Oh, thank you, Ginger Kitty, about my nails. I think I'm caught up. I scroll up and then come back. The way to releasing from molds, any mold, even my face molds, I use baby oil on a, just like you saw me on that little makeup sponge, and then wipe out the excess and they release. It's really great. Oh, I know the opal clay is so wonderful. Hi, Marina. How are you? Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah, cornstarch works in the molds as well. Okay, so now for the snowflakes. And then I'm going to also make one how I made the ones you're going to see come off the cookie sheet. Because I didn't make them this way. I forgot about the opal clay. So, and this cutter is really a good one. This one made really nice snowflakes. And I'm going to press, press, press. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I am very gently helping it along because it did not want to cut through. Some of that's my table. Okay, oops, don't want to tear it. Where's the blade? There we go. We'll set it over here. And we'll take our little awl and poke a hole in it for hanging purposes. I think I like the other ones better. This table has give, and that's, even though I'm on a tile, I think that's part of my problem with the cutting. But, oh, and the squeaking. I need to find the WD-40. Okay, and we're going to see what happened. Oh, this one came out pretty much wonderfully. Before I move it, I'm going to poke a little hole up here while it's still good and stuck down to the table. So you can see the difference in the color between the opal and the white. Okay. I think we're going to make one more of those. You know what would be interesting? Well, it would be. Let's do the bells in opal. Let me ball it up. And make sure I have no air in here in this. See, that's not yet ready to go in a mold. And I'll tell y'all how to tell when you're like translucent clays or any of your clays are conditioned. When you can fold it and there's no cracking where you fold it, it is conditioned. Especially with translucent clay, because it'll crack. It'll keep cracking until it's conditioned. Okay, I think this is ready. Pick that up for 1 second, set it off to the side. We're going to squish this in here. And I'm going to take the blade again. And it's starting, it already released from the mold. Shoot. Well, I can't put it back in there. Let me just try to smooth the back down as best as I can. I wonder if I could put it back in there. I'm going to push it back in there. And y'all saw I didn't put any more baby oil in there. So it's still good from the first time. And it's pulling out of the mold. I'm going to do this. I can trim that off. Okay, we're good. And see, it didn't distort it that I pushed it in there a couple of times. But what I am going to do is trim this little funky spot off. Because I don't like that little edge. Okay. We'll see how that one comes out with the translucent. I like that, I think. And it's different. Let me put these two together up here where y'all can see them. Side by side. And with your opal clay, like we got some little glitter sticking out, just press it back in. And that's going to happen. So I just kind of push it back if it's sticking out weird and stuff. Okay, so that's, I still want to do one more snowflake out of this. So I'm going to lay it back out. And we're going to press and press to make sure it cuts good. And then I'm going to press the stopper down and just jiggle it a little bit. And pull that away. Okay, so that's these three. Oh, wait, stick it back down. Where did my little awl go? Let's poke a hole in it. I'm going to poke it over here because I already lifted that off the table and it's going to make it wiggle when I poke the hole in it. Okay. And take the blade. And gently pull it up. Put that like that. Put this little, move my cutter. Put this little dude back up there. And then let me run this back through because I doubled it over a while ago. Now this is straight translucent, nothing added. This is how I made the snowflakes that I baked earlier. And so I mashed them. Well, I cut them, mashed this little part. And then hang on, I'm trying to keep my translucent separate from the opal. Okay. Then what I did was, first we got to poke our little hole in it. Then what I did, I have some glitter that I mixed up. And I know I've already baked this in the oven many times. Well, not this particular, but I know this glitter can be baked. I sprinkled it. And then I rubbed it so that it would all, you know, just stick down. And now I'm going to pull this up. Tap off any excess glitter. Okay. Make sure the hole is not blocked with glitter, and it's not. And there's that. So that one has glitter on top, not just built in. And I'm getting the excess glitter off the table. Okay. So these are all ready to bake, but before we bake them, we're going to take our rose And we are going to take gel pens. I learned that you could, I didn't realize you could do this. It's kind of cool, but I want red. So I have a red gel pen. And I'm going to just very carefully color. And these are bakeable. You can also do this when it comes out of the oven. Clean the end of the pen off because it got clay on it. A whole new way to adult color. And all I'm doing is, when it stops making ink, running it on paper. And this is a metallic pen, so it's got some glitter in it, which will make our rose look very pretty. And I want to leave the black lines on there. Now I'm going to take a couple of green colors. There we go. And this one I'm outlining the leaf. I'm going back over all the little vein lines with this one. Then I'm going to take, oh, I'm off camera. Oh my. Okay, I colored all that with these pens. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm going to take this one. Get the ink flowing. And just go back in here and color it. It's a different color than that first one. I left the black lines. This is exactly what I did with the red that y'all couldn't see happening. That's okay. We got a Santa over here. Okay. Make sure I'm in camera this time. Let me move him up. Oh, goodness. Yeah, Sherry, you can spray them with water. Thank you, Marina. They are actually cookie cutters. Well, it depends. Lisa Pavelka has some that are made specifically for clay. I think these were cookie cutters that I purchased on Amazon that I'm using on clay. Now that I've used them on clay, I will never use them on food. So you don't cross-contaminate. But I bought them for clay purposes. So, but they are actually cookie cutters. I have molds that, one of my molds is a mold made by, oh, what's the kitchen crafty people? It's a name, Wilton. It's a Wilton mold. So I know it was made for food purposes, but it's got a really pretty border on the bottom of it. And I use it in clay. When I make my polymer clay tile boxes, I use that border piece a lot for those. No, I do it all the time, Ginger. I always talk to myself. Hi, Joe. How are you? You want to make sure it's a glass glitter because or metal, because if it is a plastic glitter, it will melt. This will not melt. You can also use the glittered embossing powders and do the same thing because it will stick to your clay and it will also emboss it when it bakes. So you can use those as well. Oh, good. I'm glad you saw some of it, Ginger. Oh, that's okay, Joe. You're fine. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did the rose, but with Santa Claus. And I don't know how well this is going to show up. We'll find out after. I have white and I have a silver. This is his beard and mustache colors. And like I said, I don't know how well it's going to show up. We'll find out after. And I'm just going to draw little squigglies with this pen. And for the pom-pom, I'm just going to color in circles. There's a holly leaf up there. I completely missed that. And then I'm going to add just a little tiny bit of this silver because, as we know, Santa Claus got some gray hair. Plus, it adds a little bit of depth. I mean, I don't want to overdo it, and I don't want a lot of it. Just some. Definitely a couple on his eyebrows. Okay, let's get his holly leaves colored in. And then we need, this is not the metallic red, but let's see. I want it for the holly berries that are on here. And I'm going to go back to the metallic-y red that we had earlier. It's copper. When I find it again. That's not it. There it is. I'm put that on his hat. That looks more pink. It does. Go back to the other red. These gel pens, I got the whole set at Walmart on sale. And I bought them from for one of the classes from Polymer Clay Adventure, where I actually learned that you could color on clay. Who knew? Raw clay. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Didn't know you could do that. Now, my Santa Claus is going to have some really pretty blue eyes, because I think he should have pretty blue eyes. So, now if you wanted to, There is a skin colored, well, a close to skin colored one. We could, very lightly, I wouldn't do it any really dark. That's not the skin coloring one, but I'm going to just blend it with my finger. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you make a mistake and you're not happy, alcohol and a Q-tip. Like right there where it went out of the line. So, however, I don't have any Q-tips handy, so I'm going to take the corner of a paper towel and get a little alcohol on it, and I'll be right back. But alcohol on a Q-tip will work. Okay, so I have alcohol in the corner of this paper towel, and where I have pink on here and I don't want pink or red, I am just going to wipe it back off. And there we go. Now it's clean. But his eyeballs got wiped off, so I'm going to go back and put blue back in there again. And I may need to fix those a little bit when he comes out of the oven. Okay. And we're going to do the elf. So Santa Claus over there. Check. Let me check on chat. Oh, Ginger, you are so welcome. Okay, great, Ginger. Thank you for coming. Hi, Mary Brewer. How are you? Excuse me. How are you today, sweetie? Thank you for coming. So now we're going to color the elf. The other thing I found was color pencils. We'll also color on clay in its raw state. Supposedly. Okay, these aren't, we're not doing that. Now they will color on baked clay, so we may save him. Yeah, I don't have a stamped one. We'll save him for after they bake. So here's the important thing, guys. I'm trying to move stuff so I can get it in the oven. Here's the important thing. When you bake your stuff in the oven, 275, make sure your oven is set right. I burnt stuff at the beginning because I didn't realize my oven runs hot. And it does. It runs very hot. It's 25 degrees over. So I was burning clay. So make sure you test it with a thermometer. Tint it. You want to make sure that you have it tinted and that whatever you're tinting it with, I use tinfoil, is not touching your clay because it has hot spots on your clay. So you want to tint it. And that's really the only tips I have. I bake for an hour. Even though these are as thin as they are, I bake for an hour. And I'm going to move the rows down here. I try not to leave anything up against the edge because I don't want my foil that I tint with to touch it. So let me move my pieces around. And I just try to make sure they're not touching each other. Put you right there, Mr. Santa Claus. Everything else looks fine. So let me go put these in the oven for an hour. And then we're going to start playing with the ones already cooked. And I always start with a cold oven. Okay, now those are in the oven. Cook it. Bake it. Oh, you cannot. Let me move them. Here's the ones I baked earlier. And let me check on chat. Okay. Now these are the way the glitter ones come out. This is just a translucent glitter clay. And they have a hanger hole. You can just put ribbon through here. You could put wire through here. You could buy the hooks from, the Christmas ornament hooks. I didn't glitter the back, but you can now. You can definitely add some white glue with glitter in it to the back so that it's pretty from all sides on your tree. So that's how they come out. And they're not truly transparent, but they are completely different than these. So let's move the sunflowers off to the side. Now we can take our color pen. Now we can use the color pencils. On the Santa. I'm going to start with his little hat. And the holly berries, I'm just going to make really dark. Am I in camera? Yeah. Now, if you wanted it to be darker, you could always use paint. You can press harder with your pencil. And don't forget, we have holly leaves up there. I'm going to get his little lip. That's pretty much that. And we're going to do the same thing with the white. And I don't know if I have a gray color pencil. I don't. So we may go to markers for this part. Or not markers, paint pens. Where did the gray go? Or silver? That just means the oven got to temperature. I start cold because that way the clay and the oven come to temperature at the same time pretty much. I have lost. Well, I hadn't lost it. There it is. Is that what I used a while ago? I guess. So we're going to just do this the same way we just did. I don't think that's the one I had. That looks darker. It is darker. I found the right one. Okay. We're going to start with the white. This is not sticking down because it's baked. And I had to take them off the tile so I could use the tile. So a trick would be leave them on your tile or what you bake them on. And it's going to go around in a circle on here. Make it look kind of fuzzy-ish, I guess. Leave them on the tile so that they stay stuck down while you color them or paint them and they won't move. I had to take these off of the tile because I needed the tile to bake on. That's not really showing up at all, but I think once I put the gray in, we'll see. You can always paint it too. So we're going to just come in here and add some little gray squiggles. Because like I said, we all know Santa's hair ain't completely white. It might be. But this just adds some depth. Okay, now here's where we have the good advantage. We have a flesh colored pencil. So I'm just going to very lightly give him a fleshy tone. And y'all, I'm not an artist. I can sort of color, but I'm not an artist. Now I'm going to go back over this with the white pencil. Because the clay, the Polymer clay original or Sculpey original is not totally white. It is an off-white color. I think that looks kind of cool. That looks good to me. And now we got to get our holly berries colored. Our holly leaves. And I'm going to use this really dark green. There was a holly leaf up here. It didn't print. But there was one. And there's one here. And there we have our Santa. And I forgot to poke a hole in him when I baked him. But there he is. So what I would do with these is completely different. I would use, y'all are going to think I'm nuts, watered down black paint to begin with. And I mean, I'm talking watered. We want wash. So we want to wash. And I'm just going to put it on here. Scary, isn't it? Then, taking my paper towel, and I'm going to rub it off. And I'm going to get it off my thing. And if it didn't settle in enough of the grooves, how you might have wanted, just pick it up again. Go back over it. Let it sit for a second. See, and I forgot to do the little buttons on them, so they're going to get glued on buttons and eyes and stuff. I didn't leave that on there long enough, evidently. Hang on. Get some that's not so watered down. Maybe that'll help. I don't want to leave it too long, because if you leave it too long, you can't wipe it back. And then you're just going to have what you have, unfortunately. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. This, I think, is what we're going to be left with. But that's not how it's going to stay. That's just a beginning. Right there. So dry. Gingerbread dude needs he needs a mouth, first of all. Come in here with the red color pencil. And color in his mouth. Okay, now, what else we're going to do with our little gingerbread dude is I have chocolate brown metallic paint, of all things. And I want it to be, well, let's try it and see what happens if we don't water it down. So our gingerbread man is not exactly the right color, but I don't have that color. So we're going with what we got. Make sure we paint his little edges. I may have to go back and do his mouth again. That's, oh yeah, definitely. This may take a couple of coats. Just being honest. And I'm off camera. I'm trying to do the edges, y'all. But I was off camera. Okay. So we're going to just paint him on here. He's going to get buttons or the little beads in his eyes and his buttons on his body. But we can't get those on there till we get him painted. And I'm going to redo his mouth. So. He's kind of cute. Let's do the other one. I think I got to put more paint out. Kind of scrubbing it in a circular motion to get down in all those little cracks and crevices. Now, if you wanted those to stand out more, you can always go over this with a black wash. Or you could do that first. And then you'll have black down in these little, and they'll stand out better. And let me get his edges. And this is, oops, this is the back of a cutting board that I'm on. So I know it'll wash without a problem. It's a cutting board we don't use for food. Again, we don't cross-contaminate. My cookie sheet that I bake on is strictly for clay. It lives on top of my water heater. Oh, I think he's cute. He's going to need another coat of paint, but he's very cute. He's cute. I'm all painted, but he's cute. Okay. The only thing I would want to do with this is, wait a minute. Before I do that on my sunflower, I do want the black so it'll get down in all these little holes. And I think I'm going to go ahead and wash the whole thing. Like I said, this is the scary part because you do this and you're like, I'm ruining it. You're not. It just brings out all of the detail because we're going to wipe all this back off. It's just going to settle down in the lines. And when I put the yellow over it and the brown in the middle, you'll just have that detail. It's going to be, that needs to get washed off with the water. Okay. And I'm going to do the other one. Same thing. I want more water than that. So I just put water on my brush. Wipe it on, and then wipe it back. And it's all done in all the little lines and everything. Let me get a wet paper towel. It's got some soap on it, so I can get that up. I don't want that on my snowman. Okay, so I noticed that last time I used paint on this thing, it didn't want to come off. I don't think they seal the back to these cutting boards. Note to self, they don't seal back of cutting boards. I mean, we got it off by scrubbing it last time, so I'm not worried about it. It'll come off. It's just not looking so good on camera. Okay. Move my clay out of the way. So, for our snowmen, we have some options here. I want them white, but I'm thinking we should probably go over them with a wash of a really light blue first, just to get down in all their little lines and stuff. And then we're going to paint his little carrot orange. We're going to give him his little eyes, and then we can highlight some other stuff with color. Thank you, Joe. And I got him tinted when I put him in. So, because they are snowmen, we want them to look like snow. And I'm thinking I'm going to put some glitter. No, we'll paint them, and then when I seal them, we'll glitter them. So, get my brush. Dip it in the water. Just make it real watery. And we could do this on the snowflakes too, even though they got the glitter in them. Rub it on, pull out all that detail that's on there for the snowflake, and wipe it back. So I'm going to let that sit on there for just a second and sink down in the little spotches. I am off camera again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get where I can see what I'm doing up close, but then y'all can't see. Okay. So I want to keep my paintbrush because I'm going to do it on the snowflakes, but we want to wipe this back. So, and then you just wipe it back. And now you have that blue settled in the cracks and crevices. He's got a little bit of a blue tinge to him, but that's okay. Because we're going to paint him white, so it doesn't matter. Okay. See, this one had deeper lines, so it looks different. I'm going to go back over him. There we go. And I'm going to use this wet one on him and buff him back a little bit. Get it off the top surface. Now I do want to try it on one of these snowflakes just to see what happens. I might just scrub it on there. I am scrubbing to get the paint, that watered down paint down in there. I've not done this before, so I don't know how this is going to come out. And then I'm going to go back. Ooh, I want some more. I like it that it left all the detail behind, but also left the glitter on the tops. Let me set this down and wipe it. I like that. I think that looks really pretty. And now you can see the detail and you still have the glitter. That is pretty. We're going to do the other ones. Let me add some more water though, because this is not as watered down as I want it. I'm just going to spread it around. And I'm going to let this one sit for a second while I coat the other one, because this is more watery. Now, if you wanted your snowflake to be three-dimensional, you could take, I'll show you in just one moment. Let me wipe these back. Oops, let's throw the snowflakes. I like that. So if you wanted them to be three-dimensional, because we used a cutter, you could take your snowflakes and glue them together. Just make sure that if you do this, you have your holes lined up, or put you something in, you know, a hook or something. But you can glue them together. You could bake a thin layer of polymer clay in between the two. You could use the clear Sculpey and stick them together and rebake them. Just make sure your holes are lined up. And then you would have it to where when your snowflake is on either side, it's pretty. So you could do that. Okay, so back to our snowman. Let me clean. We're going to put paint on the table again, though. Or on the back of our thing. This is just plain white paint, but I'm going to add a little pearl paint to it. And I'm going to start together with a toothpick. And it may not get mixed perfect, and it's okay. And I want to clean my brush. Now, I'm not going to try to get the white down in there where the blue is, because we kind of want the blue to stay blue. Except like I just got it in there and wiped the blue. Wipe it off. So I'm just going to go over it with this white paint. And we may have to do another coat because of the blue. But I'm putting his eyes and stuff on last, because I don't want to try to paint around them. That would be, we have that coming when these come out of the oven. Those we have to paint around their eyeballs. So I'm just going to paint him over. And I have varnish that is clay friendly, that will not leave it sticky and icky. It's polyacrylic, and it already has glitter in it because I use it for my napkin papers. Katrine showed us how to make those. So we're going to let these dry because they are very wet. Okay. And I'm just going to leave my paint there. And we're going to move on to the snowflakes, or not, sunflowers. And what I'm going to do, first, I think, oh, Lord, be my table. This, okay, I think we're good and level. Now we're level. Yay, sort of. I'm going to take the brown metallic paint that we already had out up here and put it in the middle of my sunflowers. Where their little seed pods would be. But because we have the black on there, down in those holes and in those divots, it's going to be dimensional looking, sort of. But it's how you get some detail. So there's that. We got those, that part handled. Now I'm going to take the yellow paint. And this is a bright yellow. Put me just a tiny bit out there. Take my paintbrush, take a little tiny bit of the brown, because this is way bright, and mix in there just to dull that down a little bit. And I didn't dull it down nearly enough. Take a little bit more. There we go. And then I'm just going to brush this on. onto my petals. And then where that black is, it's going to just stay in there. I want to get the edges. Not worried about the backs because these are going to get glued into a journal. So for the purposes of these, I'm just not going to worry about the backs of them. And if I feel like I've erased too much of the black, I can always go back and wipe some of this back to bring back out some of that black color. Or when it dries, we can do another wash over it. So there's that one. And now I'm going to go in and get the edges really good. And if it turns out that you just don't like it, just paint it all white and start over. It's clay. It's very forgiving. Okay. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to wipe it back a little bit. And I didn't mean to wipe my brown off. If I can get back in here, I'll put some brown on my finger and just tappy, tappy, tappy. Put that back. And do the same thing over here. Okay. So there's my sunflowers. For my sunflower, now I'm going to put a little bit of orange on there, but I'm waiting for that to dry before I even touch the orange. Kind of flat to me. Now we have our little elfy dude. I don't know what to do with our elf. There's a couple of things we can do with the elf. We could paint him black with a wash and then take rub and buff and go over the surface and it would pull out the detail. And that's what we're going to do with our Santa. So I think we're going to do our elf the same way so that they'll match. So go back to our watered down black paint and just scrubby the whole thing. Let me get in view. And if you don't have rub and buff, you can use metallic paint. If you have any metallic paint, like a gold or something, on your finger, on a cotton ball, and do the same thing. I do have rub and buff, but I think what I'm going to use is the metallic lusters, which is, it works the same way. Okay, so before he dries, let's get our wet paper towel wherever I put it. Right in front of me, and wipe him back. Oops. And there he is. Now we're going to make him look much better, but at least we have that outline on there and it's detailed. Okay, so now let me look at chat. They are going to be gorgeous in the journal when I get that journal. Right now I'm making embellishments for my sunflower journal. I've been making the journals and then doing the embellishments and, you know, like having all the pages done and then I do the embellishments. This time I'm doing it in reverse. I'm making embellishments first and then I'm going to make the journal and use the embellishments that I've made in the journal. So now what are we going to do with our little snow? These need to be repainted. I think they need a black wash too. I really like how that looks. So then we may not have to put buttons. Oh, that's an idea. Let's wash them. We may not have to because the black paint will settle into those little divots, the watery black paint. And then we can go back and put metallic. Well, we might be left with our metallic color. It may look antique-y. We'll set him aside. Get this other one real fast. I do need to go back and do their mouse over. I don't want them to have black mouse. Nope. Not pretty and becoming of a gingerbread people. But we may not have to do their eyes this way. Get this to all settle in those cracks and crevices. Let's wipe this first one back. Oh, guys, I think I'm liking it. Yeah, I may not even do his mouth over. I think I like it. I think I like them. Very pretty. Okay, so seeing the elf wiped off better. I don't know what happened with our Santa. See if I can wipe any more of that off. It doesn't matter. He's still going to be pretty and antique looking. Okay, so back to our snowman. We do need to give them some little beady eyes. And we need to paint their carrot nose. And I'm going to do that with a toothpick. And I want to paint their scarf some color. And their hats should be black. So we got a lot to do with these. So first I have a toothpick. There that is. That's a very dirty paper towel. And there that one is. Now, I think I want their scarves to be green, which I'm going to use this dark Christmassy green. And this little tiny paintbrush. And I went straight into the white. That wasn't good. We want green. And I think I want to get it all the way, including down into those little cracks and crevices right there. Well, but not on his face. Oh, Lord. So now I'm wiping it back because I made a boo-boo. But see, it left the green where I wanted it. So now I'm going to take my little tiny paintbrush and go back in here. And now I can paint that high spot and it'll all be good. There we go. And I'm going to take the watered down black. Now, you notice how we went through here and we colored him and we made him all light blue, and now I'm filling all that in. That's how it goes sometimes. Okay. Now, I had, and I'm going to tell y'all, a black paint. But it was not a flat black. It was kind of like a metallic-y black. That made my clay stay sticky forever. It never would dry. It was not compatible. I don't know what it was. Because I've used metallic paints on the clay and not had any trouble. It was whatever. It was a black metallic enamel or something. And it was not polymer clay friendly at all. And I'm trying to get, I am off camera and I know that, but I'm trying to get him cleaned up. He's a little bit on the messy side. He had a bad day, y'all. And I need to be up close to do that part. Okay. So you do not want to use metallic enamels. You want acrylic, not enamel. Because the enamel paint on polymer clay, it just left it sticky. It would never not be sticky. Go around these little edges. He is going to get little beady eyes. Actually, with beads. Okay, so let's do this one. I'm going to do his hat first since I got the black right here. Go around the edges. Okay, rinse the brush. And pick up the green for the scarf. And I'm going to do what I did with the other one. Find me a clean, sort of clean spot. I'm glad we're going over this with white. Clean him all up. He's tinged green. I'll be right back again. I don't want him to be tinged green. So, grab a new. I'm hoping the white paint will cover that up. I'm sure it will. We just need to make sure he is good and dry from where we're wiping water on him. Okay. I'm going to go back now with the green. and just fill in the upper raised up spots with his scarf, just like we did on the other one. And there we go. Now he's also going to get little beads in his eyeballs, but they need to dry. So back to the sunflowers. I got some orange paint still out, but I'm going to add a little bit to it. And we still have about 18 minutes left on our ones we're cooking or baking, because Clay bakes. I always say cooking. And I'm going to check chat in just a minute. Now this, I am going to add a little bit of water. And I got it on my brown, but I can go back with my brown again. Make sure I'm in camera. Okay, this we are wiping back with our newly wet paper towel. And I think I want a little bit more. I don't know where that black came from. Now, it looks like I got it where there's not no yellow on there anymore. It's just layering and layering and layering, guys. But I'm not liking how my orange is looking, so I'm going to go back. I'm probably going to go back and put more yellow too, so until you get it how you want it, just keep playing. That's what I'm doing. Just playing. But I kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Now let's play with the other one. Because everything else is drying. It's just a layering process, really. And now I'm going to wipe this one. I'm going to leave that one like that for now. I like it. Okay. Snowmints. They need to be white. And so it goes. And I probably need that really small brush. Yep. So, here we go. This is where we're going to turn him all pretty, nice and white. Around all these little details. Now remember, we could have done this with color pens, the gel pens. We could have done this with the color pencils. And if I think there's still too much of that tinge of green showing through when he's dry, I will put another coat of paint. But he's going to, you know, we're going to put his little eyes in there. Now we're going to do this one. Make him all pretty. So if I had these in the Etsy store, well, I'll ask that in a minute. I have to look at chat. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do with them. Mother told me she don't need any more ornaments because I made her a tree full of ornaments last year for Christmas. And I'm like, say, do you want some more ornaments, Mother? I'm making ornaments again, but they're different. She's like, no, I have enough. And she does. She has a whole tree full of ornaments that I made her last year. And I don't have room for a tree. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Okay, so there they are for now. And let me look at chat, see what's going on. Hi, Ann. How are you? And thank you for coming. I know, Ann. It's so true. Hi, Yard Sale. How are you today? And thank you for coming. So, y'all, my question is, what should I do with all my little ornaments? Because I have a whole thing of them in there. I'm so glad to hear that. We have a whole, as many as this or a little bit more in the oven cooking, baking. I keep saying cooking, and I know they bake. So I was thinking I could put them in the Etsy shop in little lots, you know, like a Santa Claus and an elf and some snowflakes and a gingerbread dude. Or I don't know. Because I don't need them. I'm just making them because I like to make stuff. And I wanted to get back with polymer clay. I have clay and it needs to be used. What, putting them as sets in the Etsy store, Ann, is that what you're saying? That would be cute. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for coming. I think they're adorable. I really think they came out very cute and adorable. And I don't think we need to add the beads to these. I think I do need to do, well, maybe because the black's not showing up so good in the little divots. But I think he needs another coat of the brown metallic before we do that. Oh, cool. I could do that. I can make the sets and put them up in the Etsy store. And I'm also working on some more ephemera packages for the Etsy store as well. The small ephemera, you know, the paper clip beads, small envelopes and that kind of thing. So I'm also working on those. And I printed out a ton of stuff to make those with. But I had requests for purple. So I'm making some purple ephemera stuff for in the Etsy shop. But I think these would be cute in there. I would put little hangers on them, of course, before I put them in. Sitting here. Let me go on and get out the bronze, this metallic chocolate brown again. And a brush. And we don't need the baby brush this time. We can use a bigger one. So we can go back over our our gingerbread little dudes with that metallic paint. And the black will still show up because it's down in the crevices. And I think we're going to glue him in some eyeballs and some buttons. There we go. That's cute. These are adorable. I may have to make more. Just because they're cute. And I will paint the backs and everything before I put them in the Etsy store. They're not going to be unfinished. That would be bad, wouldn't it? Sell them in Etsy and just like they're finished now. No, no, no. See, all I would do here is just a coat on the back. I will sign them. They just get signed FC and the date. Foxy's Creations with my initials and the date. But I can do that with gel pen or marker. I don't like that you see the brush strokes. So wipe it back and do it again. And it's still got brush strokes. Maybe a second coat will cure that. We'll find out. So, I'm still using the phone. I haven't gotten the other camera set up yet. I'm working on it. We'll do the back of this one. Dibble dabble. That does take the brush strokes away, dabbing it with the paper towel. I shouldn't have put him face down. But they're very cute. Now we need to go over these two with the metallic rub. So what that is, it's this. Thank you, yard sale. And I forget your name. I am so sorry. Oh, that's not the kind I want. That is not bronze. Okay, where's the bronze one? Let me close up my color pencils. I have the bronze out here. That is rose gold. I don't want rose gold. Get the color pencils out of the way. Move my pens out of the way so I can find what's over here on my table. Did I put it in my little bin box? No. Well, that answered that question. Here we go, bronze. So we want the bronze. And it's metallic luster, and it's made by Deco Art. And I just put it on my finger. And we are just going to rub it on here. And then take a dry paper towel and just buff it. And that's all you have to do. And we're going to do the, oops, the Santa Claus ended up in the white paint. Let's get that off of him. It was only on his back. Okay, so the same thing. We're going to rub it on here. And it kind of looks bad, you know, when you first do it. But we're just going to rub it on here. Take our dry paper towel and just buff it. And it also pulls up excess. But main thing is it makes it shiny and gives it a finish. And because we had the black on there, that detail still shows up. Years and years and years ago, like 30-something years ago, y'all, Walmart had these really pretty white ornaments. But they were kind of like these. They were white, they were stamped, and you really couldn't see the detail. When I got mine home, I did this treatment to them. And they were very pretty. And I actually still have them. And I only had to do the rub and buff thing one time. But there's that. Can y'all see how shiny he is now? And I would just do the same thing on the back. So it's not going to have anything but the rub and buff. And it's just going to be, well, metallic luster in this case. But it's just going to be shiny. So I'm just going to apply it to the whole back like that. And then take and buff it back with our paper towel. So see, it's no fancy tools. And if you don't have the metallic luster, but you have rub and buff will work. It comes in a tube, and it's called rub and buff, and you can get it in all colors. So there's the back of that one. And now it's just as shiny and pretty as the front. We'll do the little elf dude the same way. I have this in turquoise blue. Rub and buff does not come in turquoise blue, but metallic luster does. I also have it in a red color. Okay. And we're just going to take our paper towel. And just buff it. And it just makes it all nice and shiny and pretty. Okay, so close our stuff up. And now I'm all pretty and shiny and metallic-y. It comes off with alcohol. And my nails that were so pretty earlier are not so much now. This is what happens when I craft. Okay. So we're going to set those aside. I do want to apply more white paint to our snowflakes. Our snowmen. They are not snowflakes, Brenda. They're snow people. And then I'm going to look back at chat. They still got to get their eyes put in. Because right now they can't see. You could probably even take gold paint as long as you were very careful and didn't try to get down in the cracks and crevices and just waste gold paint on it. Oops, I dropped him. Where did their black come from? Oops, there's our timer. Let me finish him up and I'll get them out, but they cool before I touch them. We have time. And we may not decorate them on air. I just wanted you to see how I made what I have here. Muff it. Stop digging in there. Okay, let me get those out so they can be cooling off. And then we'll finish up the snowmen. once they cool off, we can look at the rose and the Santa Claus. And, well, and we didn't have the cameo ones here, but so we'll definitely look at those. And we may just put like rose gold or something over the top of them once they're cooled off. So for these, they still need little eyeballs. We're going to use tacky glue and beads. Where'd my beads go? Right there. Okay. I'm going to put this out on this little red mat, and we're going to use a toothpick. Then I'm going to check on chat and see where we are. And we're going to turn over our little gingerbread dudes and do the same thing with them in just a second. Now, I was thinking, if you have the small dagger beads in orange, they would make great noses for these little snow people. Muffet's snoring again. There we go. Aren't they cute? With their little eyes. Okay, now we're going to do these. Going to go in and put all the little dots of glue in. And there we go. And now we're going to just drop their little beads in. Oops. Okay. Use my toothpick and get it where I want it to go. There we go. Squish it down in the glue. Okay, that one didn't want to stick in the glue, so I'll put a little bit more glue. There we go. Now it's in there. And tacky glue dries clear, as we all know, which is a good thing because this is fiddly. And here they are, guys, with their little noses, well, eyeballs and buttons. And that glue will dry clear. There you go. I think they're so adorable. Okay. And our Santa Claus looks really cool now that he's dry. So let me look at chat and see what's going on. Yard sale, I don't know how long you've been paper crafting. I have only been doing paper crafting since April. Before that, it was strictly polymer clay, beading, jewelry making, that kind of thing. Which is why I have beads and why I have polymer clay. So But I'm new totally to the whole paper crafting, everything. I love making journals. And I was thinking that this kind of thing, it's flat. You could glue it into a journal. I mean, it's, you know, paper flowers are thicker than this. So I'm going to try it and see what happens. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Katrina. I'm glad you all think. I think they're adorable and they're very cute. With the snowmen, I want to put glitter on them. We want to seal it all. Everything needs to be sealed. I really like how these came out with the blue paint on there to bring out the details. Those will be cooled off. They're on the tile still. So, but I want to add, let's add more yellow to these. I think I figured out where I was going wrong, and I'm going to tell y'all what it was. When you wipe them back and you put the stain and everything on there, it doesn't really matter. But when I'm painting the yellow, I don't want to paint the direction of these lines. I want the yellow to go across so that it doesn't affect the orange. We're going to see if that works. It's been a while since I've done this. So I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to paint, let me get up here, across my petals so that I'm only getting the high points. Plus I'm also dry brushing basically. But now I'm only hitting the high points of the petals and it's leaving the orange in the low points and not touching the orange. Can y'all see that? So with the base color, whatever you're putting to pull out your detail, that's not going to matter because you're going to wipe it back off the high points. But when you want your last color, just go crossways of those high points, like what I'm doing. And it's a dry brush, and I'm just barely brushing. I like it. I think it's very cool and very pretty. And now we're going to do this one. And let me get some of that paint off of there. So there you can see like a before we added the yellow and an after. And I'm just going to go across it. And it is a layering thing. It's really just a layering. And there you go. I think these are gorgeous. They would be pretty on the front of a pocket in a journal or on the corner of a page. That would make a good tuck spot because you could glue everything down but these top of these and add some leaves behind it. I do have a leaf cutter that I could cut leaves out to put behind these. So there's all different kind of things you can do. I've just never seen anybody put them in a journal. So I don't know if it's okay to do it or not okay to do it or what the accepted thing is there. But I do think they came out very pretty. I like all of these. Okay. While we're still waiting on those to cool, let me find my glittery varnishy stuff. Here it is. Shake it up. Now, Katrine's stays mixed. My glitter sinks to the bottom, Katrine. I think I used the wrong glitter. It doesn't stay suspended. And I got to go run this under hot water to get it open. Oh, I left my jar. So I think I used the wrong, I used microfine glitter, but it evidently was the wrong thing because it's all sunk in. So take my toothpick and stir it around. That's what I do. I just take something and stir it around. Okay. Paintbrush. Now we are going to glitter up our snowman, but I don't want to glitter up his scarf. Oh, there's yellow in that. That's not good. Get rid of that. And I'm going to go back to the little tiny brush because that's what we were using originally. So I don't want it on his scarf because his scarf shouldn't be glittery. He's the snowman. Snow is glittery. And this is also going to seal him. Now what I can do after this dries is I can go over the whole thing with a clear coat of varnish. But I wanted to get the glitter on the snow parts to make him pretty and sparkly. And this is just polyacrylic clear with some glitter added to it. Can y'all see him sparkle? There you go. Now we're going to get, oops, that one, big old gob. We'll move it around. Get between his little eyeballs. You just want to make sure that you use water-based products with your clay. Otherwise, your clays may become sticky over time. So this is a water-based polyacrylic. I don't like those brush strokes. I'm going to try to get rid of them by just doing a dabby-dabby thing. There we go. And there he is, and he's all pretty and glittery, shimmery and sparkly. And I want to do Santa, his little beard. Or do we want to do his pom-pom? Questions, questions. Pom-pom. His beard's probably not sparkly, but his pom-pom might be. There we go. That just has to dry. And we can go back over these if we wanted. Just to add, I mean, they got glitter. It's opal clay. Or no, not this. This was not the opal. This was just the clear with the glitter on top of it. So we'll just add some more. And it gives them a nice little shiny finish. Just make sure your hole, wherever you poked your hole, stays clear. So you can get your hanger in there. I don't even see one. Oh, it's right there. I can clear it with the wire. That's okay. Or toothpick. So now the hole is clear again. Okay. These are so pretty with that glitter on there. And we're going to be able to compare these in a moment to the opal clay. Where's the hole at? Oh. I know I put one. Or maybe I didn't know. I think it's right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Got it. Now I just got to clear it. I got the toothpick all the way through it. There we go. Okay, so let me see if those are, let me wash my hands off, see if those are cool enough to touch. And we'll bring them this way. So I'm just loosening them up so I can pick them all up. Okay. Come on. It's a handful, y'all. Plus some. Okay. Here they come. Hang on, I see something. I see wet. From where my bottle was sitting. Okay. So there's the tree. Some more sunflowers. Another sunflowers. Here's a snowflake. And that one is done in the opal clay. The bells. The little dude. And this time we don't have a choice. We have to color him because we just stamped him. So he doesn't have detail like that. Here's the rose that we colored before. That would make a pretty button. And this one's got glitter sticking off of it. More opal clay with the glitter built in. That's one we did out of the translucent like these are. There's an elf that's been stamped. Here's the candy cane cameo. Oops. Gingerbread man with buttons and eyes. Snowman with eyeballs. Stamped Santa, like this one up here. A painted Santa. Well, we colored him with the gel pens before we baked. Another snowman. Another gingerbread man. The bells that we did in the opal clay. Another opal snowflake. And my tree that I wasn't sure what to do with. So here's the difference in the bells. This is the ones that we did in the white. And this is the opal. I kind of like both. The only one I really want to paint is this one. But I mean, we've already done the rest. This one we haven't done. We haven't seen. So we are going to start like I'm going to just move everything off the way. We're going to start like we've been starting. Watered down black paint. Because we need to get that base coat in there first. I just want to see what it's going to look like. I don't know what I'm going to do with this tree. Because this is completely hand carved, no mold, no nothing. Okay. Watered down black paint. And do our wash. And get the tree trunk too. Okay, and then we need our wet paper towel. I tried to make a happy Christmas tree. I don't know. But see, what you could do now, because acrylic paint will bake, as long as it's not metallic. Metallic paint will bubble and blister and do all kind of things in your oven. You can make little tiny ornaments and stick on here with that clear and bake it again. So you could have a decorated Christmas tree. Okay, now I have a really dark green. It says it is, what color is this? Light avocado. That don't look like avocado to me. Looks like baby stuff. Okay, we're not going to go there. Okay. And I want that a little bit watery too. Just a little bit. And we're going to put this on here. I'm not doing the trunk. The trunk is going to get the chocolate brown metallic paint. Okay, got that on there. Now I'm going to dab it back. So now we've got the dark green and the black, except my dark green didn't do exactly what I wanted. Let me try that again. I may just leave it on here. I think I will, y'all. And then come over just the tops with the lighter green. Let's just do that. I'm not wiping it off this time. I'm going to let it dry for a minute while I wipe up some stuff. And I'm going to check chat. Oh, wow, Joe. Yeah, that hurricane's coming at both of us, I think. Yard sale, it is a lot of fun to play with polymer. Air dry clay is good, but the thing with air dry clay where I'm making these, and these are, y'all, they're a little flexible. I don't know if you can see that. I'm bending it without it cracking. Now, it will break if I keep bending it, but they are a little flexible. So that's why I think they'd work in a book. Air dry clay is not like that. And air dry clay shrinks. And when I would try to do these carving lines in air dry clay, while it was drying, my lines were disappearing. I don't know why. Now, the one thing I did do with air dry clay, where did it go? I had one out here yesterday while I was playing, because even when I'm not on here, I'm playing. Maybe there's another one in this little bowl. No, of course not. I only had the one out. I gotta find it. Bear with me. I added stuff to my table. It can't have gone far, and it's red, so it can't be hard to find either. Well, phooey dooey. Here's one thing that this is air dry clay. It's molded, sculpted by hand. That is a handmade air dry clay rose. So my roses came out really good, and they're sturdy. They will break because I've broken them. And that's what I was looking for. I had a little red one here on the table yesterday because I trimmed it because it had a pointy part in the middle on the back. And I wanted to make it flat. Here's one that's not painted or mounted, and it's got a divot. So you could put a pearl in there. I could put another rose in there. And this is air dry clay. It is not bendable at all. This doesn't flex. Well, it will turn up after I'm offline. That's the way it works. You go offline and then your stuff shows up that you hunted for. And I'm going to move everything around. It's little, but it's not that little. It's not like invisible little. And this needs to not, it needs to be on plastic of some kind. Put it over here. The only other thing I need to tell you about your polymer clay is don't put it on paper because paper pulls the moisture out of it and you will have crumbly, not good clay. That's why I just picked that up. It was on the table. And I moved it to, I have jingle bells that I'm going to attach to these when they're done. I moved it to a piece of plastic. You can store your polymer clay as well as your air dry clay in plastic baggies. I can't find that rose, y'all. It'll turn up, like I said, as soon as I'm done. It'll be here. Oh, I didn't mean to hit it. It needs to dry. Let me go on and put the brown on it, though. And I'm just going to do this with my finger. Dabby, dabby, dabby. This is a chocolate brown metallic, which I think is really pretty. Okay. It's all of that we need. I just threw all my paper towels in the garbage. Okay. The other good thing about polymer clay, like if I had made this last night and left it here on the tile, it's not going to dry out. It would have been still the same today as it was last night because it would have been on a tile. Now, if I left it on paper, that's different. But if on the tile, excuse me, and that's what I like about it. If I'm working on something and making something and I walk away, when I come back to it, the clay is still there. The clay is still workable. I think what I want to do with this tree is go over it with the dark green first. And I'm going to use my finger because I only want the tree. For right now, I only want the tree. That's pretty. And we're just going to set him down. Candy cane. That's different. That's a whole other issue. But I like the way that tree is looking so far. Oh, we're going to start barking again. Your daddy is not at, well, he might be, but I don't think he's home yet. It's not time for him yet. Stop it, Fox. Okay, this is looking dry enough. Now I want to take the bright green. And I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to dab off a lot of it. And I'm going to go against the lines this time. Like we did on the sunflowers. So the dark will stay down in the recesses where the black is. And this really bright green will be on top. Like that. I like it. And I have a little hole up there to hang it with. I like how that one came out. Okay, so I'm cleaning my finger off because this is what I would do with the bells. Let me find what I want for paint. I don't want to use the bronze stuff again. Although we can. But I really want something different. I'll be right back again. Going over to where my other paints are stored. That's pretty. Yeah. Okay. Oops. I ran into where I had the pasta machine hooked up. This is a kind of a coppery gold color. And that's the candy canes. So on the bells, just going to take it on my finger, just a little bit, and just hit all of the highlights of the whole thing. I may need to get out more paint. I do. So rather than try to do all this detail painting and painting everything, you know, all the little details, this is an option. I still need more paint. I'm just trying to make sure I keep going, you know, and getting it all coated how I want it to be. And there you go. And the Christmas tree, where we already did the green, I was going to go back over it too because I want to get the little balls on the side or stars. And even if we go over the tree, now that it's got the green on it, Being very stingy with my paint. I don't know why. Okay. Make sure I go around the edges. And get all those little high points. And there's that Christmas tree. And see, it still looks green and it's still pretty and sparkly. And I'm going to do, I know I need more paint for this. I'm going to do the opal one with the copper. Or this is actually bronze, but to me it looks more copper than bronze. But I'm doing the same thing on the opal one that we did on the white one. Oh, that's pretty. I really like that. Make sure I get my edges good. And there you go. I like that. I think that came out really pretty. I think that's prettier than that one. So I kind of like this opal clay with it. Let's see if I can get any more on here. If I'm not so stingy with the paint. Nope, it won't take any more paint. It's just the difference in the way they worked. And while we're doing it, we might as well do the candy canes. Get the edges. Those are stars, I think, on the sides. I really do like these. These made as pendants for Christmas to go on a necklace, which I wouldn't do it with this clay because I mixed the original in here. I would want to do it out of straight Primo, but I think that would be pretty as a pendant for Christmas to wear, as well as Christmas ornaments. That is very pretty. So I don't know what we're going to do Thursday. We are going to go live again Thursday. I just don't have any plans yet for what we're doing Thursday. Let's see. I was going to see if my rubbing buff was in this container. But it's not. Okay. So I don't know what we're doing Thursday, y'all. Any preferences? Anything you want to see me try to do or attempt? I mean, I'm willing to try to attempt anything. So y'all have any ideas? Oh, Kathy's Creative Life rated us. How cool is that? Hi, Clara. Hi, everybody. I've never been rated before. That is so funny. Hi, Linda. Hi, Lainey. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sherry. Thank you, Kathy. Love you too, darling. Y'all are so funny. That's hilarious. Hi, Marina. Hi, Brenda. Thank y'all. I finally looked up. I'm sorry. Bye, Kathy. Thank you. That is so funny. We were raided, y'all. I love it when that happens. I've been on one of those and raided somebody's room. We raided Miss Elizabeth one night from the art bar. We went in Miss Elizabeth's and did a raid. So do y'all have any preferences for Thursday? Because I don't know. Other than I have plenty of stuff to do. I have plenty of envelopes to make, journaling cards, tags, and that kind of thing to make for my embellishment packages for the store, for the Etsy store. Oh, Brenda, that would be cool. So I do need to get that stuff made. If y'all want to watch me make that, we could do that. But it's something y'all already saw me make. Huge paper beads. That would be cool, making garland out of huge paper beads. But you have to have all that made. Okay. 3-inch beads, that would be cool. You could really do it off of the big paper clips, but if you wrap them with something first, to make them bulk and then put just a little bit of paper around the outside of that, that might be an idea. And then just join them together. What could you bulk it up with? Paper towel, toilet paper. Something inexpensive that you could wrap around there to bulk it up. That is a cool idea. So our snowmen are dry, these ones, and they are glittery. I think they came out very cool. Oh, it could. You're right, Brenda. If you have styrofoam peanuts, you could wrap those in pretty paper. They're lightweight. Ooh, that could work. I got some packing peanuts in my books. I didn't get a lot. So some of these ornaments would work on your tree. They don't weigh anything, Brenda. They're very light. These are very lightweight ornaments. But what I'm thinking about, y'all, now they're not, keep in mind, some of these aren't finished. Let me move my sunflowers and the rose. Is taking and making like sets. So dividing these out, we'd have like a snowman, a snowman, a snowman. They would be painted. A snowman. So this would be like what the sets would be. Y'all tell me what you think. I need to make some more Santa Clauses because I don't have enough. Oh, wait, here's a fourth one. Then we have, how many snowflakes did I make? 2, 4, 6, 7. I'll make another one. We'd have 2 snowflakes per grouping. We're going to pretend this little grouping right here has an extra snowflake that it ain't got. And then we have our elves. We only have 3 elves. I would have to make another elf. So what do you think about that as a group of ornaments in the Etsy store? One of these little sets. I think that's a cute little set. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. Wait a minute. He's missing an elf. 7 pieces. This is a completed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. What do y'all think? Yeah, popcorn garland might get ate before it made it on the tree. Children tend to eat the popcorn. And I would paint the ones that aren't painted and get them finished before putting them on Etsy. I really like that one. I think those would make nice little sets of Christmas ornaments. You could use them as tags on packages. Oh, wouldn't that be cute tied on top of a package? I think that'd be adorable on the top of a package. Or in Happy Mail, your Christmas Happy Mails that you send out. Those kind of things. This would be pretty the same, used the same way. Great on a tree, don't get me wrong, but other things that could be done with these. Happy Mails. Tied on packages so that with the person that you're giving the package to would have their little ornament that they could put on their tree. Wine charms on glasses. They would be cute on the little, they would be so adorable as little wine charms. So all different kind of things we could do with them. So let me pull that one, the one finished set. Let me pull it in. The one that's got everything in it. One elf. Well, let me put him. Where's the elf that's painted? Where did the elf that's painted go? Right here. Okay. That way, this is a completed set. Let me pull all the rest of this up here. It's all painted and everything. Then you can see what a completed set looks like. Move all these out of the way. Trace them down. So a set would be an elf, a gingerbread dude, one of those, two of the snowflake ornaments, a snowman, and a Santa Claus. That would be a set. Hopefully it's all in camera. I don't think it is, so we'll scooch it up. There we go. Oops, snowflake. That would be a set. What do y'all think? So on Thursday, we may be making embellishments. I have a couple of ideas. I saw a video. I have never made ribbon flowers. And I saw a video a while ago that made it look really simple. And I thought I would try. The other thing is, I have little wooden beads that kind of look like this and or this. And I have dagger beads that look like these petals. I wanted to try my hand, and my hands are horrible now, and see if I can make sunflowers out of the beads. So that might be something just for us to play with on Thursday while we chit chat, just play and have fun. Pages in our Halloween book. We haven't been in the Halloween book in a while. So we might do some more pages in there. And I'm not seeing any new chat. So, and I appreciate y'all staying. I wasn't planning on being on for 3 hours today. But I appreciate y'all being here for the 3 hours and watching me play and have fun and make things that I don't really know what I'm going to do with. I'm going to put them in. I am going to put it in the Etsy store as like little sets like this, I think. I think they would be cute. And that would give me 4 sets that I could put in there. I may do 3 sets. I don't know. So Thursday, we're just going to play with something. Maybe several different things during our time. And it will be Thursday at 2 o'clock Eastern time. Oops. So I'm going to go, y'all, because I got to get some stuff together for dinner. I really had fun. I think the sunflowers came out really pretty. I think everything came out pretty. I did want to try something, though. I'm going to. Let's try. We're still here. I'm going to put some of this paint on one of these opal snowflakes. Oh, I kind of like it. For those who are still here, what do you think? Is this what we should do? It kind of takes the glitter away, but I can always varnish it with that glitter varnish and put shiny sparkly back. I really like that. It brings out the detail. There's a piece of glitter. I got it. That really brought out the detail. So this snowflake versus that snowflake. I'm leaning toward that one. Especially if we put a coat of the varnish on it with the glitter in it. That would be so pretty hanging on a tree. I really like them. Oh, I really like how our Santa Claus came out that we painted ahead of time with the gel pens. And you can really see, I don't want to touch it with this finger, you can really see all the little swirly lines that I put in there. It's got a lot of texture. If you tilt it toward the light, you can see that. That's very pretty. Okay, y'all. Well, we're going to go. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for supporting me. What we should do. Hey, Brenda, is Kathy still alive? Because I can't check. If Brenda's still here. Stop it, Fox. We should. I can't see who's live. Go raid Kathy back. I don't even know if I'm still live. I could just be talking to air. I hope not. But I can't see who's live because it'll take me out of the stream. If Kathy is still live, when we leave here, let's go raid Kathy. We can do that. And I'm going to go on and get off of here because I got to do stuff for dinner, but I will be back Thursday at 2 Eastern with something. Thank y'all. Love every one of y'all and I appreciate y'all. Bye-bye.